Sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I'm going to be talking about my June TBR. I am filming this a little bit later in the game than I normally do, so that's really fun, but it has given me the opportunity to really hammer out my TBR. So, also in June is the Clearursht readathon, which is, you know, my baby. So it is the mini readathon, the 1.5 readathon, and it is a bingo board. I will put the bingo board right here. Now that we have all of those things announced, I can talk about them freely, and this TBR is going to be aligned with that, as well as some of the other projects that I regularly work on and some series completions that I'm really trying to get ahead of. So we're going to start with the bingo board first, and in whatever order I typed them in. So for the first one is, also I want to disclaim that all of these books are books I either physically own or own the digital or audio version of them. That is the point of Clearursht. At the end of the day, the only rule really is read books that you already own. Other than that, do whatever you want, right? So now let's get the show on the road for real. The first prompt is Candles, a book with a white or black cover, and I will be reading two different sets of books for this. So the Villains trilogy by Serena Valentino, that is Disney Villains kind of retellings vibes. I have an audiobook that is the first three books all together. I don't know if it's like abridged or something, or if those books are just inherently really short, but that's the ones that I'm going to be reading. And the second one is a physical copy I own. I just got this in the mail, and that is going to be In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland. And this book is about a pansexual blood mage who reluctantly teams up with an undead spirit to start a rebellion among the living, which sounds great. Also, this Illumicrate edition is absolutely beautiful. It does have this cool art as well as its own bookmarks and the art here, which is great. And y'all know I love a good naked cover. So I will say this one doesn't have anything on the inside. I like a naked cover that has something on a naked hardback that has something on the inside, embossed. But nevertheless, here it is. Very excited about reading this. The next prompt is an Athena, a book in a genre you don't normally read. I will be reading She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quinlan. This is an enemies to lovers queer rom-com, which, as y'all know, I don't really read romance, nor do I normally enjoy romance. I find it very annoying to read. However, I have found that rom-coms, specifically romances with a comedic relief, I guess, are much more tolerable for me, and I like those a lot more, so we'll see what happens. The next prompt is a book featuring a magical object. To be clear, I don't know for a fact if this book has a magical object in it. It just seemed like a really good shot if I wanted to make that assumption, and that is Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. Sworn enemy witches, they have to ally to take down a mutual threat. So, enemies to friends. There's some kind of like power struggle and like power hungry vibes, so I'm very excited about getting to read that. The next is going to be Belle's comfort read, and that is going to be They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. That book is basically about a lesbian or queer professor who is a murderer of men who assault students. Which, good for her, honestly. I support her and her endeavors. I think that that is a great extracurricular activity for her to have, honestly. So, and the next comfort read is going to be The Wayward Children by Shannon McGuire. I did just get the first three in hardback from my friend Philip. Thank you so much, Phil. I just called you Philip. Who am I? And I love these books so much, and they make me so happy, and I just got them in physical copies, like I said. They are sweet little novellas, so I should be able to knock them out quite quickly, but I'm excited to read them physically instead of listen to them, which is what I did last time. I may switch to listening to them. It just sort of depends on where my attention span is that day. We'll see. The next book prompt is the Free Space prompt. I'm actually going to use this prompt for library books. I don't know what library books I'm going to check out in June, so I can't tell you anything about that. I have been getting, 6 at a time and then finishing them very quickly. we will see what I get. Sometimes I get holds all of a sudden, and I'm like, oh heck, forgot I put this on hold, and then I have to read it. The next prompt is Ancient Grimoire, a book that's 400 pages or more. I will be reading Infinity Reaper by Adam Silvera. So this is the sequel to Infinity Sun, and it continues with the twins, who are not twins, trying to figure out about the Phoenix powers. And I didn't love Infinity Sun because it felt like being thrown into maybe the second book in a series. However, now that I have read Infinity Sun, I'm interested in reading the sequel. If I don't like the sequel, I'm not going to continue on with the series. I think it's a trilogy, just because that really to me shows that it's not something I enjoy, but here we are. Next prompt is Bag of Teeth, a creepy book. I have 3 books for this one, so that's going to be The Initial Insult by Mindy McInnes. This is like a Poe-inspired thriller about revenge and like rich people doing rich people shit. Basically, the main character's parents vanished, and she still lives in the town, I think, and wants to like find answers, and if she can't find answers, she gon' kill them. Then I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick. This is a book about someone who confesses to a murder, and then the other friend becomes determined to uncover the real truth no matter the risk, which sounds exciting. The only thing is that I don't know if this book has courtroom scenes, and if it does, then I won't be able to continue the book and will have to DNF it, but we'll see what happens, right? After that is The Au Pair by Emma Rue. This just sounds like a very classic thriller. The nanny vanished, the mom threw herself off a cliff, the kid is now an adult and finds a weird picture and is like, what is this about? I don't understand. And so she, has to find the au pair to find the answer, and it's, probably terrifying. I don't know. Very classic, like, family thrillers. Not anything too out of the box, but sometimes you just like a very, like, per the status quo thriller. The next is a book in your favorite genre. So my favorite genre is kind of a tie between fantasy, but more specifically sapphic witches fantasy, and then horror is the other. I will say the book that I've chosen might be like a contemporary horror, and y'all know how I feel about those, but we'll see. The first book is The Lost Coast by Amy Rose Capetta. This was actually the Queer Book Cruise book choice of the month a couple of months ago, but I never got a chance to get my hands on the book. I have finally gotten my hands on the book. It is a spellbinding tale of 6 queer witches forging their own paths, shrouded in the mist, magic, and secrets of the ancient California redwoods. No idea beyond that, but you said queer witches, and I said, okay, here I go. The next book is Horrid by Katrina Lino. My friend Paige just got this for me for my birthday. Thank you so much. It is basically a super creepy house. Is there a ghost? Is it just grief? Is it just mental illness? Who knows? This is really pretty. But anyway, who knows? It could be great. It could piss me off to no end, though. Just if it is like mental illness causing people to be terrible. So we will see. The next prompt is Chalice, a book with something elemental, and I have chosen 2 books for that. Blue is for Nightmares and White is for Magic by Lori Faria Stollers. I read these books as a child, and they're kind of what got me into folk magic as a person in general, not like reading, but like as a person. And basically the girl starts having these really weird dreams about her boyfriend like possibly dying or something, and she's in a boarding school and can't really do anything about it, and so she starts doing the folk magic that her grandmother does to help solve this mystery and like figure out what's going on. And then White is for Magic is just the continuation of that. So it was really good from what I remember as a child, but I don't know if it's still any good. We'll see. After that, we've got my childhood rereads. So I will be reading the So You Want to Be a Wizard series by Diane Duane. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. 10 books total. The Maximum Ride series was about that long, so I'm not too worried about it. Most of the audiobooks are about 2.5 hours long, so it should be fine. Basically, a couple of kids find a beginner wizard's kit, and they do the wizard's oath thinking that it's, can't possibly be real, and it is real. I I had these audiobooks for years and years, and honestly may have them laying around somewhere because they were in a stack of CDs. And I would carry this stack of CDs around, and my CD player, and my headphones, and I would sit on swing sets and listen to them. And if anybody let me borrow their like anti-skip CD player, I was hype because then I could listen to my books. I was a very strange child. The next parts of my TBR are going to be series continuations, so that is going to be Anthrax by Terry Brooks and Morgwar by Terry Brooks. These are the Isle of Gerald, I believe. It is basically about a steamboat that flies or something. I don't know. It's the genre series. You can go ahead and assume it's like all of the rest of the books in the genre series. Hero finds out information, hero goes on journey, things happen, people get separated, they find out weird things about their past, hero saves the day. That's pretty much the framework for most of Terry Brooks' books. The next book in the series continuations for me is going to be The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan. This one is like told from Annabeth's point of view, so I'm really excited about that. I have been enjoying reading these. I was a little bit nervous just because Percy Jackson was so good, and so I was nervous to continue to read a series because sometimes writers do like spin-offs, kind of like what Terry Brooks has done, and it just feels like you just recycled your characters and gave them new names sometimes. But with these, you know, Percy is still in it, Annabeth is still in it, but we've just introduced some other players, and the plotline is a little bit different. Our characters are older, you know, Percy's 16, so that is really interesting. It feels more like a young adult book rather than a middle grade book. We're kind of maturing, and I really like that about Rick Riordan's writing because, you know, he wrote this for kids, and when you let the series grow up with the kids who've started your series, I think that that's a really important thing to do as a children's writer, if you have that capability. That's it though. That's all the books that I will be reading for June, hopefully, not including, obviously, library books, like I said. I still might get some books in the mail for my birthday, since my birthday is in 4 days, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I am going to go, though. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if any of these books are something that you want to watch, or something that, any of these books are something you want to read, or have considered reading. Let me know down in the comments below. What are your thoughts? Have you guys read any of these books before? Are you going to start them too? Are you guys participating in my readathon? I'm curious. Let me know. I will also include all the links down below. For the readathon, we did also completely open up the merch, so you guys can buy shirts if you want to. Basically, buying shirts really helps add a little bit into my wallet so that I can, you know, go to the doctor. So they're also really fun to make. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. If you didn't enjoy this video, let me know how I can improve it for you. I hope you have a great rest of your day.